And we are live, guys. Welcome to another live stream from Men of High Value channel. My name is Jay Darling. We'll get right into the video because we're going to talk about your personal power. All right? And we're going to talk about what no one anywhere is telling you about it. All right? And we're going to share it with you right here. After this video, you will understand key concepts that literally will revolutionize your life. So stick with it, all right? And if you like the video, make sure you subscribe and like, and we'll get right into it. Now, if you think about power, all right, that word has some kind of sometimes a negative connotation to it. But there's nothing wrong with power, all right? Just like there's nothing wrong with money, right? It can be used for good, it can be used for bad. In the same way, power is the same. You see, the definition of power is the ability to do. All right? Now, doing can be a good thing or a bad thing. All right? But if you increase your power as a good person, that means that you have increased your ability to do good in the world. All right? And that's what we want. If you increase your personal power, that means that you will have more abundance in your life. All right? That means that you'll have more joy, more happiness, and you'll have a lot of money. You'll be able to have any kind of life that you want. All right? So increasing your personal power, as long as you're a good person, will revolutionize not only your life, but create a ripple effect that changes everyone's life who basically gets in touch with you. All right, so this is a fantastic thing. Now, so how do we do it? How do we increase our personal power? The best way and the fastest way to do it is understanding responsibility and blame. Now, when we blame someone, remember, we're giving away our personal power. All right, we're spending it. We're basically wasting it. Because when we blame someone for something that has happened, an event of some sort, that means that we are expecting them to learn from the experience and expecting them to actually change in order for this to never happen again. Now, of course, there's a fine balance there because, you want to make sure that, for example, your kids learn that they shouldn't touch the hot plate, right? So that they understand and take responsibility for their actions. But the thing is that at the same time, 80% of it, 90% of it, sometimes 95% of it is because of you. Is because of you had the hot plate on, you not teaching them in advance, you. Because you see, if you give away that responsibility to someone else for them to change, you don't know if it's going to happen again. And you're not basically taking precautions for that thing not happening again. You haven't learned from the experience. All right? So if you take responsibility and basically say, you know what? This will never happen again. I will do something about it. I will do something about it. Now you actually have power over the situation. And most probably, it won't happen again because you've learned from your experience. Does that make sense? So, if you increase your power to do, you're taking more responsibility in your life. Anything that happens to you, you take personal responsibility. Oh, that was me. I got to make sure to change some of that. I need to make sure that this doesn't happen again. I need to make sure I talk to this person and talk to this person. And that increases your power to do. And it increases at the same time your happiness. Because if you have the confidence, if you have the self-esteem that I can change anything literally in my entire life because I am who I am, it elevates your performance, elevates your self-esteem, and it elevates everything for you to become or to live abundantly. All right? And if you blame, guess what? You give away your power and you end up becoming powerless. You basically can now, you don't have a choice anymore. You can't do anything about it. You can do nothing about it. Alright? Because everything relies on that person. They now have become the leader of you, because unless they change, nothing's gonna happen. And that is not a good place to be. You want to be on the other side, where you take full responsibility of everything that happens in order for you to have personal power. Remember, we're talking about increasing your personal power here. Now, let's put a story in there. In one of my videos a long time ago, I spoke about this in terms of your relationship with your woman. You should always take full responsibility of everything that happens to her and that happens in her life, right? So, and I spoke about basically that even if she's at the supermarket and she gets into a small tiff with the cashier, guess what? Even if you're not even there, it's your responsibility and it's your fault. So if she comes home and wants to talk about it, guess what? It's your turn to sit down and listen and be understanding, because it happened because of you. Alright? What? It doesn't make any sense. Trust me, it works. It'll increase your personal power. Alright? Guess what happened? That same day I released that video, my brother told me that that had happened exactly to him that day. And that, I just thought that was insane. That basically that, you know, his woman had gone to the supermarket, gotten in a small tiff with the cashier, and come back and complained about it. And then he remembered my video and he's like, oh man, this is insane. So anyway, that was just a fun thing. So, in your own life, what can you take responsibility for? Alright? In terms of your money situation, oh, you complain about my employer, they're not giving me a raise, they're not giving me what I'm worth. And then you can change that by saying basically, what can I learn from this? What can I do about the situation? Can I increase my value? Can I do something that they will be like, wow, okay, this guy needs a raise? Or can I basically ask for a raise? Take personal responsibility that way. Or perhaps I could even change jobs, right? Or get a side business. There's so many things that you can do, right? In terms of your health, right? You may be blaming other people around. Or are you taking responsibility and saying, you know what? I'm going to change this, this, and this, and start going to the gym and start eating better, etc. Right? And then let's take this to the whole world. Once you understand that you can change literally everything in your life within the short space of time, or even let's say 5 years, everything can change in 5 years. And for some people, okay, let's say 10 years, but anything can change in 10 years. You can become financially free, choosing today that, you know what, I'm going to have more passive income than I have expenses in 10 years' time. Anyone on any income can do that. All right? So, what does that have to do with changing the world? All right? Imagine a world where everyone is taking full responsibility, 100% for their own actions. And they personally understand that if I learn from this experience and I do something about it, then I will increase my personal power and everyone around me will benefit. Imagine if everyone did that, all right? Now, of course, that's a long ways away, right? But have you heard the story about it was a wise man who walked on the beach and he was walking with someone else. I don't quite remember, and he was basically, there was like thousands and thousands of what are they called? Those sea stars? That's what they're called in Norwegian. And he was basically tossing them one by one into the sea, right? But there were thousands there, thousands. And they need water to survive. So the other guy said, why are you doing this? This is going to take forever to toss all these sea stars into the sea again. And then he's like, yes, but for that one, it makes all the difference, right? We have to think about the world like that, all right? We have to think locally, but we have to act locally, increase our power locally, and change the situation for individuals every single day. Starting with us, right? But if we think globally about what we can change and taking responsibility and doing what we can, one individual at a time, one family at a time, one city at a time, one country at a time, we can change anything, all right? People think that there's going to be an apocalypse in the world one day. You know what? I actually think it can be avoided, right? Because there's been tons of prophecies that haven't been fulfilled. And for God to basically tell us that, you know what? This is going to happen no matter what. I don't like that. And I don't believe in that. Because we can actually prevent things if every single individual takes personal responsibility for their actions and also for the events that happen around them. Everything can change, all right? This is the Men of High Value channel. This is what you're going to get from this channel if you subscribe. Like this video if you liked it, and I'll see you again tomorrow.